Yo, Turkey. Tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes! Let's go! Canelo, come on!
You heard it from him.
We are ready!
Just put me in the game. Just put me in the game. Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. And we stay ready though. Stay ready. That way we don't gotta get ready.
Terence Crawford has just shared his first message for Canelo Alvarez following the official signing of their fight agreement. Alvarez has signed a multi-fight deal that could lead to a showdown with Crawford in September, possibly in Las Vegas, after an event in Saudi Arabia in May. The contract includes 4 fights, with the first scheduled for May in Saudi Arabia, followed by the highly anticipated September clash against Crawford. 2 additional fights are planned for 2026. The news was met with excitement from Alal Sheikh, head of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, who posted a social media message emphasizing the significance of the upcoming events. Canelo also shared his enthusiasm with a simple post: "Let's go, brother." Initially, there had been speculation that Canelo might face Jake Paul, the social media star turned boxer, in May instead. Paul fueled those rumors when he shared a post saying, "I've signed in every fight I've been in, and that's not changing for this one." However, it was later revealed that negotiations for a Canelo versus Paul fight in May had advanced before being shelved. MVP Promotions, Paul's company, issued a statement confirming they had been in talks for a monumental showdown between Canelo and Paul, set for Cinco de Mayo weekend in Las Vegas. The fight was expected to be a massive event for fans of Mexican, Puerto Rican, and American boxing alike. However, MVP Promotions expressed disappointment at the turn of events. The statement read, "It's disheartening to witness how circumstances played out, but we remain committed to delivering the biggest fights and most exciting events." MVP also made it clear that Jake Paul would not be going anywhere and that the company would continue to disrupt boxing on our terms. Paul also vented his frustrations on social media, accusing Canelo of ducking him and proclaiming himself the new face of boxing. He further stated, "When all your events tank and lose money, you'll realize who the king of the sport is." While Paul is a professional boxer, his most notable defeat was an 8-round split decision loss to Tommy Fury, the younger brother of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. Despite not yet competing at the championship level, Paul remains vocal about his ambitions and aspirations within the sport.
You said that you'd like to go up against Canelo Alvarez. What gives you the right to call out a 59-2 boxer, one of the greatest of all time, when you've not yet proven yourself?
I'm predicting what's going to happen 3 more years from now.
So
I'm going to get to his skill level and beat him. I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of. And with this new team, I can give Canelo a serious run for his money.
Mike Tyson's clash with Jake Paul last November stirred controversy due to their 31-year age difference. However, from a commercial standpoint, the event was a massive success, dominating viewership and establishing itself as the most-watched boxing spectacle of the year. A similar fight involving Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez would be an unusual spectacle, considering Canelo's extensive resume of facing elite opponents in boxing. Alvarez, a fighter who has conquered multiple weight classes, including a light heavyweight world title, has proven himself time and again in high-stakes battles. The idea of a fight between Canelo and Crawford is more than just a high-profile event. It's a potential clash between 2 of boxing's biggest names. Alvarez, a Mexican superstar, has held the title of undisputed super middleweight champion for several years, while Crawford has dominated across multiple weight divisions. However, Crawford faces a significant challenge in terms of size when compared to Canelo, as his championship journey began at lightweight before progressing through super lightweight and welterweight, where he defeated Errol Spence in their highly anticipated 147-pound showdown. Crawford made his move to super welterweight in 2024, defeating Israel Madrido convincingly. However, his desire to challenge himself has led him to target Canelo at a weight class higher than he has ever competed in before. Crawford has publicly stated, "I'm waiting on Canelo in September, and I'm going to shock the world." Many fans, however, view the Canelo Crawford fight as more of a spectacle than a legitimate contest. By the time the fight happens, Crawford will be approaching 38, coming off a lackluster debut at 154 pounds, and jumping 2 weight classes to face Canelo at 168 pounds. For many, this setup could feel like a high-profile cash grab rather than a genuine sporting contest. For those who closely follow boxing, the fight between Canelo and Crawford has the potential to be a spectacle rather than a competitive bout. Crawford is not known for his size or power in handling elite super middleweights, and his last fight, at 154 pounds, was a razor-thin win where he appeared to show signs of aging. If Crawford were to take on Canelo and lose, it seems unlikely that he would continue fighting unless presented with either a rematch or a hefty paycheck to face one of the top 154-pound contenders. Despite the skepticism, some in the industry, like Turkish boxing promoter Al Sheikh, see Canelo versus Crawford as a potential blockbuster event. However, he wants Canelo to first face a strong or great opponent in May to build momentum for the bigger fight scheduled for September 13th. Al Sheikh admitted that while the payday from a fight with Jake Paul might have been larger, a bout against Paul would not have made sense for Canelo's career. They had asked Canelo to choose a worthy opponent for May to lay the groundwork for the September showdown with Crawford. There had been discussions about Canelo potentially facing Jake Paul, but this didn't align with the plans for the larger build-up to the Crawford fight. Al Sheikh expressed his preference for a strong May opponent to ensure that the September fight remained as significant as possible. Both Canelo and Crawford had agreed to fight in Saudi Arabia, but with Riyadh season acknowledging the significance of the American audience, they ultimately decided Las Vegas would be the ideal venue for this monumental clash.
Please, brother, choose great fight because we are building for the big fight. Him and Crawford accept to fight in Saudi Arabia, the big fight. But we as a Riyadh season know how is big this fight and also how is important, especially in America. For that, we prefer to do it in Vegas. This is the only condition. Then, in the last 2 weeks, we start to hear the rumors about this fight. And in the last 48 hours, we heard it is close. Then it is not for our benefit because we are building the big fight against Crawford. We want him to fight, good fight, great fight in May.
The ideal contest between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is undoubtedly at the top of every boxing fan's wish list for 2025. Both fighters have conquered 4 weight divisions, displaying extraordinary skill and dominance. Crawford, in particular, enters the ring with an unblemished 41-0 record, having systematically dismantled his competition while continually pushing his limits. Despite being criticized at times, Alvarez remains one of the greatest and most iconic figures in the sport, continuing to captivate audiences with his boxing prowess. When 2 elite champions from different weight classes clash, it's inevitable that one of them will face a potential size disadvantage, a factor that can often be the defining edge between 2 top-tier competitors. The Crawford versus Alvarez super fight is no exception to this rule. Crawford's decision to move up 2 weight classes to face Alvarez is causing some concern, particularly with UFC commentator Joe Rogan, who highlighted the significance of size in such a matchup. After making his mark in the lightweight division, Crawford is set to leap from junior middleweight to the super middleweight limit for a career-defining clash that could cement his legacy. This size disparity will undoubtedly be a major point of discussion leading up to the fight. Crawford's exceptional technical skills only add to the intrigue surrounding the bout, but his next opponent is a world-class boxer with extensive experience at light heavyweight, which makes the fight even more compelling. During a recent episode of Asterisk, the Joe Rogan Experience Asterisk, Rogan and comedian Brian Simpson discussed the upcoming fight, with Rogan voicing his concerns about the physical edge Canelo may have. "I just hope he's big enough," Rogan said. "I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him because Canelo hits so hard." His main worry is that Canelo's power could be an insurmountable obstacle for Crawford, who has never fought at the super middleweight limit before. Despite this, Crawford has shown no hesitation about jumping up 2 weight classes. He has relentlessly pursued a super fight with Canelo Alvarez, and this opportunity is one that he has been chasing for quite some time. As it stands, Canelo is scheduled to step back into the ring on the weekend leading up to Cinco de Mayo, with reports pointing to a May 3rd showdown at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. While Canelo's opponent remains unconfirmed, William Skull has emerged as the front-runner in speculation. As of now, there have been no discussions about Crawford having a fight before his highly anticipated September matchup with Canelo. If Crawford decides to stick with the agreed timeline, it would mean he has been out of the ring for over a year before facing what is likely to be the toughest challenge of his career. The extra time could, however, give Crawford an opportunity to adapt to the size disparity and prepare accordingly for his showdown with Canelo. Meanwhile, Canelo will have the clear size advantage, with the fight expected to take place at 168 pounds, forcing Crawford to move up 2 weight classes. Despite this challenge, former opponents of both fighters, including Amir Khan, have shown support for Crawford. Speaking to Ring Magazine, Khan stated, "I wish Crawford all the best, and I think he can do it. One thing about Terence Crawford is he has a great boxing IQ. His IQ is so perfect that he'll see everything you need in the game, from ring IQ to movement, power, and speed." Khan went on to add that Crawford's punching power is often underestimated, explaining, "Crawford does hit hard. A lot of people don't give Crawford the credit for the punch power he has. I've been in the ring with him, and he was hitting me hard." Canelo Alvarez has built an impressive professional record of 62 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, with 39 of those victories coming by knockout. Meanwhile, the 37-year-old Terence "Bud" Crawford remains undefeated with a 41-0 record, showcasing his dominance with 31 knockouts to his name. Khan acknowledged that Canelo is the more powerful fighter between the two, but he believes Crawford still has the power to challenge Canelo, saying, "Obviously, the more powerful fighter between the two is going to be Canelo, but Crawford has enough power to hurt Canelo and push him back. He'll show him that he's right in front of him as a challenge." The showdown between these two elite fighters promises to be one of the most anticipated events in boxing history, blending technical mastery, power, and determination. Whether Crawford can overcome the size disadvantage and handle Canelo's power will be a question that lingers until they finally face off in the ring. Fans are eagerly waiting to see who will emerge victorious in what could be the defining fight of their careers. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.